Welcome back. Markets just come off a little bit from the top of the day. Now to the media space. DB Corp announced numbers. Girish Agarwaal, Director of DB Corp, is with us now. Girish, morning. Good to see you again.
Good morning.
Good ad revenue growth of 18% in the first quarter. Can you take us through how much of it is because of the ad rate increases that you undertook recently, and how much of it is pure volume growth?
I think still around 90-92% growth is because of the volume, and hardly 8-10% has come because of the yield increase. But important to note that those 18% growth, if you compare year on year, the last quarter to this quarter, but if you compare the corresponding quarter, that is March to the April-June, there's a 24% growth. If you remember last time I was telling you that the markets are coming back, in the sense the advertiser has started advertising back, so the volume is the first thing to come back. So if 24% growth is on a corresponding quarter, I guess going forward, things are looking pretty good these days.
Is it spread out, this kind of quarter-on-quarter growth in advertising, 24% across spending verticals and across markets for you?
Yeah, generally what happens, in the newspaper business, the first quarter, that is April, May, June, now has become a kind of an education quarter, because the large chunk of the advertising comes from the education sector. And the third quarter becomes a Diwali festive quarter. And the second and the fourth quarter are also kind of matching up with them, but not as high as them. But looking at the comparative growth, I think because not only education, if you look at the financial services, real estate, lifestyle, all the segments have shown a decent growth. So I'm pretty hopeful that on the back of that kind of growth happening, even the second and the fourth quarter will be match up with the first and third quarter.
Girish, morning. Just on the ad growth side, though, you've guided to growth of between 16 to 17% for the full year. Because of the traction you're seeing in the first quarter, would you be looking to up that?
See, as a company, we don't give any guidance. That was my estimation last time for that particular quarter. Now, this quarter has gone at 18% and the 24% with the quarter 4 growth. So I'm hopeful that should continue.
Okay, so you're not changing your estimation. What happened with circulation revenues this quarter then?
We have a growth of around 2% on the quarter-to-quarter growth, because as a company we have not increased our cover price at all. If you look at the quarter 1 of the last year, my average price was 2 rupee 40 paisa, and this quarter is around 2 rupee 50 paisa, and the net realization is 1 rupee 62 paisa. So we have purposely not increased the cover price in most of our markets, because when we feel the advertising market is coming back, it's important for us to keep the penetration in the market on, which means I'm actually still growing the circulation in various markets. So I don't want to increase the cover price at this point of time.
Any new launches or in the current quarter or the next quarter for you, Girish? Because I believe Jharkhand, you've already done some pre-launch activity. So in Jharkhand or Bihar, when do we expect launches?
Jharkhand, we should be able to launch in the second quarter itself, sometime by the August end or September sometime, the way things are looking up there. And Jammu also we should be launching around the same time. And the Bihar would happen next year. You know, the groundwork has already started in Bihar, and the Jharkhand groundwork has been very, very encouraging. And the kind of response what we have got from the market over there has been pretty good.
Because of what you're seeing in terms of ad growth, both volume and prices, Girish, and circulation growth, are you confident of holding these margins for the rest of the year as well?
See, this quarter margin is 38%. If you remember last time I told you that to maintain any margin, anything around 29 to 32% is a doable number. Now 38%, because this quarter there are no launches expenses, there is no expansion happening. So maybe this quarter 38% is little too good, you know. But in a long term, looking at the expansion program furthermore, 30% margin is doable margin.
Thanks very much for joining in today, Girish. That's DB Corp with more on their numbers. Stocks up nearly 3%. Market is strong, but the big leader today is Bharti, up nearly 3% for that stock. As we told you earlier, they're going to be profiled or speaking at the Motilal Oswal Global Conference, but the stock has risen quite nicely. Take a break and come back.